Today at the feeders, we'll be checking the suet for a compact and industrious visitor, Downy Woodpecker. They may be the smallest woodpecker in North America, but they're also one of our favorites. Downy woodpeckers are small, black and white birds with short bills and busy dispositions. These birds are very adaptable to all kinds of habitats, including living near people, which may explain why they're found across the entire continent. Downies are largely non-migratory, which means we see them here in every month of the year. They find most of their diet by probing into bark and vegetation for insects. They also eat waxy berries and some grain, but at the feeder they're most attracted to suet. Like other woodpeckers, downies have two toes facing forward and back, which helps them hold fast to trees, and their stiff tails act as both a brace and as a spring to help with pecking. Their long, barbed, and sticky tongues scoop up insects they uncover. Unlike their larger relative, the hairy woodpecker, downies have a shorter, finer bill, about as long as their head width, which allows them to peck and tweeze insects from bark. Their size also lets them use habitat other woodpeckers can't, such as thin branches and reeds. Downies are curious and are often attracted to the sounds of other feeding birds. When excited, you might hear their peek call, which when repeated becomes an alarm call as well. Downies are both cavity roosters and nesters. Each bird roosts alone in its own hollow at night, and pairs of birds excavate a larger cavity for nesting. Interaction between pairs or rivals may lead to the accelerating trill call, which is more descending and considerably higher than the hairy woodpecker version. Drumming is common in the spring and is actually a form of communication rather than feeding. It's used to attract mates as well as communicate about potential nesting spots. By the way, the majority of downy drums are slower than hairy. There may be some overlap, but it's a good clue to which bird you're hearing. The downy pair works together to raise the young, who fledge at around 18 days, usually taking their first short flight to a nearby tree and then hanging tight as the parents continue to feed them. Within a few days, the young are starting to forage on their own, and after 3 weeks, they're totally independent. So if you haven't already, hang a little suet out in the cooler weather and see if you can't attract a downy to your yard. They're a great year-round visitor. If you have a bird whose sounds you'd like to learn, or if you have a sound recording you'd like us to talk about, just contact us at info@terralistens.com. If you enjoyed these videos, please like and subscribe and check out the useful links below for more resources. You can also find out about becoming part of the Terra Project at www.terralistens.com. Thanks for listening, and see you next bird.